U.S. Commerce just closed an AI chip loophole on May 31, 2026. Quietly, which is always how the fun rules arrive, advanced Nvidia-class chips are now barred to Chinese firms even outside China. The overseas side door just got a padlock. We are talking IJ100 and Blackwell-class compute, not some downgraded SKU nobody wanted for frontier training. The Commerce Department move is dated May 31, 2026, and it stops advanced Nvidia AI chip shipments to Chinese firms abroad. Reuters and Al Jazeera both confirmed the expansion in that May 31 to June 1 window, not a rumor mill special. It closes the third country and overseas entity export path that Chinese firms used to keep buying top silicon. This builds on Biden-era advanced GPU bans that started in late 2022 and already locked H100s out of the mainland. Then the Trump admin reopened limited H20 and AMD MI308 Green Zone sales in July 2025. Plot twist number 1. That H20 path came with a 15% fee after Jensen Huang lobbied hard for a narrow reopening. April 2025 had already slammed the brakes once before that July reopen. Export control policy. Meet yo-yo mode. The ban focuses on the most advanced AI GPUs, not every piece of silicon with a fan on it. National security goal is simple. Deny cutting-edge training compute so frontier model runs get harder for China. Prior rules mostly hit mainland China. Overseas subsidiaries and third-country routes were the gap everyone knew about. Chinese AI firms reportedly accessed restricted H100 and Blackwell-class chips through those overseas routes. Totally normal, nothing to see. That undercut the whole point of the controls. You cannot deny compute if the best GPUs still ship to the same buyer. Nvidia and AMD still had China-related advanced revenue flowing through loopholes or the limited H20 window. Now the rule keys off Chinese firm identity worldwide, not just a shipping address stamped mainland China. Pending advanced chip shipments face an immediate compliance stop. If it is top tier, the paperwork just got shorter, so the stack is 2022 H100 bans, 2025 H1 flip, and now a 2026 worldwide Chinese firm lockout. Busy product roadmap. Chinese AI labs just lost a legal path to top US training GPUs abroad. The overseas shopping cart is empty. Chinese cloud providers face real compute scarcity for frontier models. Training budgets meet inventory reality. Nvidia and AMD risk further billions in lost advanced chip revenue tied to China-related demand. Wall Street will notice. U.S. commerce and national security officials get tighter control over who actually touches cutting-edge training silicon. Global AI developers racing China keep a preserved U.S. compute edge, at least on the legal top-tier side. The loophole previously let overseas subsidiaries import restricted chips and route capacity back into Chinese AI work. That setup undermined the national security goal of denying cutting-edge AI compute. Geography rules were too soft. Domestic Chinese silicon has already been accelerating since the 2022 H100 bans. This just adds more fuel. Huawei Ascend is the usual citation for that domestic alternative trajectory. Not a secret plan, just a forced plan. Brookings has warned that aggressive bans can push U.S. makers into a permanent exit from the China AI chip market. So you get a security lockout gain and a market share headache in the same policy memo. Classic trade-off energy. Chinese labs still want top GPUs. Commerce is now denying them worldwide, not just at the border. U.S. chipmakers lose advanced China sales while NatSec gets the compute edge it asked for. Nobody's fully happy. May 31, 2026 is the commerce expansion date. Write it down next to every other export control milestone. July 2025 brought the limited H20 and MI308 reopen with that 15% fee structure attached. Advanced GPU controls stack from the late 2022 H100 bans all the way through this worldwide lockout. April 2025 saw a halt before the July green zone flip. Policy velocity has been energetic. Ban scope is Chinese firms worldwide, not only mainland destinations. Entity identity is now the control key. Target class is the most advanced Nvidia class AI GPUs. Downgraded green zone parts stay on a different track. Estimates point to further billions in lost advanced chip revenue for U.S. makers. Not a rounding error. You get an immediate effect on pending advanced shipments and a multi-year Chinese self-reliance push at the same time. Green zone downgraded chips remain under prior licensing and fee rules. The narrow path did not fully vanish.
Export control now keys off Chinese firm identity worldwide. Destination geography alone is no longer enough. If the buyer is a Chinese firm, the advanced tier is restricted even when the warehouse sits outside China. Advanced Nvidia class AI GPUs are the primary restricted tier.
Think H100 and Blackwell class training iron. Third country resale routes that used to undercut the ban are closed for that advanced class. End of easy re-export. Overseas subsidiary buys of the same advanced tier are blocked too. Entity match beats clever corporate structure. Green zone chips, like H20 and AMD MI308, stay under the prior license and fee regime. Not the full lockout. That earlier limited reopen path carried a 15% fee. Still, the reference model for downgraded sales. National security logic is blunt. Deny frontier training compute, so the hardest model runs get slower or scarcer. China's domestic stack includes the Huawei Ascend trajectory as the substitute path when US advanced GPUs vanish. Policy stack reads like a changelog. 2022 H100 bans, 2025 H20 flip, 2026 worldwide Chinese firm lockout. Pending advanced shipments face an immediate compliance stop. Logistics teams just inherited a new blocker ticket. Licensing is still possible only for allowed downgraded classes. Top-tier advanced parts are not on that menu. Geography-only control was the prior failure mode. If you only watch the map, buyers just move the address. Entity-based matching closes those side doors by following the firm, not just the customs form. Effect lag is basically immediate for advanced pending orders. The multi-year part is China's self-reliance response. Remember, restricted tier means advanced AI GPUs. Not every accelerator on Earth. Precision matters in export rules. Before, Chinese firms abroad could still buy top US GPUs. After, advanced Nvidia class is barred worldwide. Before, third country and subsidiary routes undercut the controls. After, the entity scoped ban closes that loophole. Before, Nvidia and AMD still captured China-related sales via loopholes or H20. After, advanced revenue tightens hard. Before, Chinese labs could train on top US GPUs overseas. After, they are stuck with slower domestic or downgraded chips. US compute edge for frontier training is preserved relative to China. That is the security pitch in one sentence. China funding domestic alternatives accelerates on the other side of the split. Pressure works both ways. Advanced access for Chinese firms abroad went from open to closed. H20-style downgrades remain a narrow conditional path. Training tier contrast is top US silicon versus domestic or green zone chips. Same race, different hardware budget. Loophole revenue turns into constrained advanced sales. The green zone window is what is left of the old China channel. Catch number 1. Green zone downgraded chips are still possible under licenses. H20 and MI308 paths are not fully erased. The 15% fee model from the 2025 reopen is still the reference path for those limited sales. China was already accelerating homegrown silicon since earlier bans. Huawei Ascend is the usual poster child. Brookings flags that aggressive bans risk a permanent US exit from the China AI chip market. Market share backfire is real. Atlantic Council argues advanced chip exports can endanger US AI leadership. Security people and salespeople disagree. Immediate shipment stops do not equal a permanent technology freeze. Self-reliance over multi-year horizons is the counter risk. Security lockout gain versus US market share loss is the core trade-off. Nobody gets a free lunch in export control. Near term, watch immediate compliance hits on pending advanced chip shipments. That freeze is already the live effect. Far term, expect a multi-year Chinese self-reliance push to intensify. Domestic accelerators become the national project. Watch Nvidia shipment disclosures and China revenue mix. Earnings calls will tell you how hard the advanced cut lands. Track AMD MI308 and Nvidia H20 licensing volumes. Green zone health is the remaining legal China signal. Policy stack is now 2002 H22 H100 bans. April 2025 halt. July 2025 H20 reopen. May 31, 2026 worldwide lockout. Further rule refinements on entity definitions are possible. Lawyers will bill for that interpretation work. Scrutinize domestic China accelerator roadmaps from Ascend class and friends. That is the substitute compute story. US-China AI race framing treats compute access as a strategic bottleneck.
Chips are the new oil slide, basically. Investors will watch whether this is permanent market separation or another temporary policy swing. Bring popcorn.
Read the full May 31 commerce expansion and how it hits Nvidia shipments and the AI race. Core fact are free. Reuters and Al Jazeera coverage needs no special access. Grab the 2022 to 2026 export rule timeline brief next. Track the advanced versus green zone policy split yourself. Immediate shipment effects are already in force.